Right, thank you very much, April. Well, this morning we are continuing to remember Tom Benson, who of course passed away yesterday afternoon.
Tom Benson grew up in St. Roch, went to St. Aloysius High School, and then to Loyola. In 1985, he and a number of other investors bought the team from founding owner John Meekum Jr. in a deal worth more than $70 million. Clancy Dubose was a reporter at the time and was there for the deal. And this really would not have happened without Governor Edwin Edwards.
That's absolutely right. I brought along a copy of my Gambit column. It's going to be posted later this morning at bestofneworleans.com. And Benson deserves the credit for pioneering or helping to pioneer this new template that under which NFL franchises become anchored to their cities with an infusion of public funds. But this was a brand new concept back in 1985, and it would not have happened without Edwin Edwards putting all of his own personal political capital into that deal and muscling it through in the weight of the governor's office at a time when the governor could use things like the capital outlay bill to get this through, because there were a lot of conservative lawmakers and rural lawmakers who did not want to do this for the city of New Orleans. But it actually worked great for the state because it brought so much state revenue over the years.
And there were not many governors with that kind of power who could do that kind of deal. And you know, he also helped get a lot of those businessmen who went in with Mr. Benson to put that deal together, because Benson couldn't do it alone.
That's right. So while we remember Tom Benson and deservedly give him all the credit for keeping the team in New Orleans, Edwin Edwards deserves some credit too. Look, I've been a frequent critic of Edwin Edwards over the years, but he deserves credit for that. He cared about the city, and he was the ultimate deal maker, long before Donald Trump.
And you wrote that Tom Benson really was a real rags to riches story.
Yes, he was. You know, like Eric said in the intro, he grew up in St. Roch, went to St. Aloysius, and he became quite a philanthropist in his later years. You know, after he got as much as he got, he gave back, and a lot of people don't do that.
Benson was a big part of that too.
Gail was definitely a big part of that, but I mean, he gave to not just one or two, but a dozen or more, and lots of things he did very quietly.
Yeah, yeah. And when we look back at and you were talking about his humbleness, Jim Miller, who worked with the Saints during the, right after Tom bought the team, he said a great line about Tom Benson. He said there are a lot of the people he hired who dressed better than him, spoke better than him, were smarter than him, but they all made him money.
And this, you know, Ronald Reagan had that same gift. He knew he wasn't the smartest guy in the room, but he didn't care. He wanted to get smart guys to work for him. He knew what he wanted.
That's
Look, Tom Benson and Ronald Reagan were both really smart guys.
Yeah.
Because they knew what they knew and they knew what they didn't know. And they could hire people who knew certain things that they didn't know. And when you surround yourself with smart people, even people who are, quote, smarter than you, they're only smarter than you in certain ways.
Right.
You know, and Benson, and he knew to trust. He knew who to trust. He knew who to hire, who he could trust. And he turned it over to them and said, as long as you make me money and run the team right, you got a job.
And
if you don't, you're out of here.
People do that same business
Absolutely.
model.
It's the classic Dale Carnegie management model. Know who you can trust, hire the right people, and then don't try to micromanage them. Let them do what they know how to do.
Yeah.
And what do you think Tom Benson's legacy will be?
Oh, I think it'll be keeping the Saints and the Hornets, now the Pelicans, here in New Orleans, and really putting a stamp on a team. The Saints' image nationwide and league-wide was a laughingstock. Under Tom Benson, we became a respectable franchise, but a franchise with real personality.
And the Benson Boogie really did that.
You know, he really put, like a politician puts his stamp on an office, the way Edwin Edwards redefined the governor's office, Tom Benson redefined ownership of the Saints and the Saints themselves.
Yeah, you made a great point. Perception and support has changed so much from when we're talking 1985 to now for the Saints. Everybody loves the Saints.
And you mentioned about Governor Edwin Edwards. Later this morning, we'll be talking with Governor Edwin Edwards. He'll join us on the phone to talk about the historic deal that he put together when he was governor. He'll join us in our 8:30 half hour this morning.
All right, Clancy, thank you very much for being here.